Good evening and welcome to the hashtag. This week, inequality, injustice. And no, I'm not talking about the different footy teams and the different budgets they all get allocated. No. World famine and poverty, they're genuine issues. I just don't see why the television networks insist on making us feel guilty about world poverty like it's our fault, when they will then go and spend several $1 million to get one particular celebrity to present these very documentaries that make us feel guilty about the poverty in the first place. Not only this, but they will also spend several $1 million to fly the weatherman from the morning breakfast show all the way across the world. Fly him to beautiful Vanuatu so that he can then tell us what the weather's going to be like back at our place and how much better the weather is over there. How does he know what the weather's going to be like at our place? He's never freaking home. Because of the Olympics, Channel 7's Brekkie show are currently broadcasting live from London, and that I can understand. Perfect opportunity for the weatherman to see London as well, wouldn't you say? But no, just for the sake of it, they've actually sent him somewhere completely different. In fact, just because they got money to blow, they sent him back to Australia. That's right, they spent all this money sending the entire team over to London just so they could then send him back to Australia so that he could then report to them back in London what the weather was going to be like back here in Australia. Make sense? Why do they do this? Because they've got extra money lying around. They've over-budgeted. Maybe they could take some of these extra millions and occasionally give some of it to the charities that they're constantly singing the praises of, instead of always wasting the money, flying celebrities across to these third world countries, in first class, and having 500 cocktails on the way there, so that once they arrive they can then turn out their pockets and say, "Sorry little buddy, I'm all out of loose change." But if you stare right down the barrel of that camera over there and look extra pathetic, you can ask the people at home to give you money. They're already paying my salary, why not yours as well? It's the most interesting paradox in the entire world. How a television network are able to depict someone on TV as being completely remote, desolate and utterly cut off from all resources and financial assistance, yet somehow managing to simultaneously surround them with a fully decked out television studio and an enormous crew who are all pampered and overcatered for. You'd think that one of the lighting staff, or maybe one of the boys holding the boom mic, hell, maybe even makeup assistant number 23 could have chipped in and helped young Fetty as his malnourished body tried desperately to carry the heavy bucket to and from the creek 500 miles away, instead of sitting back and wondering whether the blush they've just put on his face actually makes him look pathetic enough to win them all a Logie that year for best documentary coverage. Poor Abdullah here is starving, and I hope you all at home feel positively terrible. And cut! Great! Lunch break everyone! Now what gourmet food have Channel 9 sent us this week? Triangle sandwiches. Is that it? No, I don't like egg. Get it away. Chuck it in the bin. It'll be fine. Anyway, come on, Abdullah. I want to do another take. I think my hair might have looked a little bit funny in that last one. Will someone please get this woman some tissues? I'm on a schedule here. I want her tears to look fresh. Channel 9 presents Survivor. 10 people alone on a deserted island. No food, no facilities, and no electricity. Just ignore the fact that the studio crew seem to have enough power to fuel all of their massive studio lights and cameras and sleep in air-conditioned comfort every night. Hey guys, quick! One of the contestants is out there dying of hypothermia and scurvy. Drop everything, including that orange you're eating, and let's get the hell out there and record some bloody amazing television. But I'm being unfair. Those networks are very generous the way they spend their money on shows like Backyard Blitz and A Current Affair to the rescue. They're using their money to help the people out there that are struggling. In fact, they're struggling so much it's hard to see how they could possibly have enough money to maintain their brand new backyard in such impeccable condition, and therefore it's probably most likely to fall into complete ruin within the next 2 months, but that's another story. It's generous of the networks to spend their money to help people in need, and here at the hashtag we are just as generous. For example, I will gladly spend $10 to buy a roasted chicken from Safeway for every homeless person that lives in my neighbourhood, and I do so on only one condition: that I be allowed to bring my trusty video recorder along so that I can film it and show everyone in the country what a bloody great person I am. Otherwise, why would I bother? I am on a budget, I'm not stupid. Spending $10 on a chicken for every homeless person might seem a bit expensive, but on the other hand, spending $10 on a marketing strategy that's bound to make a national audience think you're as awesome as Jesus, you can't buy that kind of publicity. At least you can't normally. At least, not for the same price as a chicken from Woolies. As awesome as Jesus. On second thoughts, given that Jesus gave his entire life for the sake of the human race and continues to offer his own body as food, it's probably a bit of an exaggeration to assume that feeding roasted chicken to homeless people is on par with his actions. Unless Jesus was a chicken himself, but I'm pretty sure they would have mentioned it in the Bible somewhere if he was. Finger-Lickin Jesus. But I've got to be serious here for a second. To all the television networks, I'm sorry I've had so much fun at your expense, because I do appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's really important. In a world of such inequality and injustice, it's important that we are all reminded regularly that there are so many people out there who are less fortunate than others. And it really works, because every time I see you on TV spending so much money on the less fortunate, I am constantly being reminded that I don't have as much money as you do, and that my shitty backyard could really do with a makeover. Thanks, Channel 9. My name's Ashley McPherson. Cheerio, au revoir. Man, that's good.